Alright guys, today we are going to be doing a carburetor on a roller. It's a roller. This is either a gx630 or a gx690. I don't know, they painted over it so you can't really tell which one it is. But they're both going to be basically the same deal. First thing we're going to do is take off the air filter. It's just these clips, there's 4 of them. I'll use this to hold all the nuts and bolts. The air filter off. Now we're going to have some, I believe there's 10s or 8s. There's a couple of 10s and some 8s in here. We're going to take those out. So 8 here, 8 here, 10 here, 10 here. I think that's it. We'll find out. Somebody's been in here. Everything's loose. I'll tell them what I'm going to find once I get in here. So basically this will run if we spray carb cleaner in it, like we were able to get it off the trailer by keep on spraying carb cleaner into the carburetor. But once you stop, it stops. It's not getting the fuel. So 8mm. Down to the carburetor. So it's not pumping fuel, but I'm looking at this line. I think I'm gonna have to replace this line. Definitely replacing this filter. That looks just in bad shape. But yeah. Now I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could take these 2 bolts out the back here, and they're 10mm, and this whole thing will come off. But I'm kind of wondering if I should just take the whole intake off. Let me see if I can get back there to those 2 10s. That I can even see them. One right there. Another one on the top. Pretty sure I could just take those out. Oh, you know what? No. Oh yeah, maybe we take those out. We'll find out. Before I do that, we're gonna remove these. So this clip just goes out. It's cold today. My fingers are stiff and cold. There it goes. Just clicks off. Off of there, moves out, and then this lifts straight up, and then there's just an S turn right here. Just pulls right out, and same deal on this side. Going to push that clip, I believe, down. I'm going to need 2 hands. And once you get it down and out of there, there's a spring that's on there. You gotta remove that spring. It just hooks into it. That gets all of that out of the way. We're gonna get our 10 millimeter on this back one here. Feel for it. There it is. Get this one loosened up. And then when we get that one, come over here, get this one loosened up. This is going to need a ratchet. Kind of got to do everything by feel when it's like this. If it's on another machine, you'll be able to see everything. Oh, wait a minute. I can lift this whole top up, can't I? Oh no, it's got the fuel and everything. It is on a hinge, but there's a fuel filter, or fuel pump or something hooked up on it. So I'd have to disconnect other stuff. Doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. Starting to get loose here. All right, we got this hose on the side. It just comes off. Let me get a pair of pliers. Just pull straight off. There's a line on the back here. Pull that straight off there, and there was one on the bottom that pulled out the bottom, and it looks, that's a vacuum line. So one pulled out the bottom here as well. That's a drain that goes on there. And I believe this is the fuel line right here. We're going to be testing that. Then there's a cord in the bottom of it. It goes all the way down here. And it plugs in down here. So we need to unplug that. It's just one plug. Twist it in place. Get it out of there. And this carburetor should come right on out, no problem. Just like that. Alright. And then we don't need to have all these parts. When I clean this carburetor out, take the bolts out, air filter assembly, there's a rubber O-ring that goes in the air filter assembly. So I get that stuck back in place. So, alright, take this over to my table, we'll tear it down. Clean out the carburetor. It's not getting fuel, is the issue. No fuel coming out of that. So, we are going to need to change out the lines, I believe, on this as well. Lines in the filter. I think it's just sucking air here is what's happening. So we'll see what's happening. They said that when it was running rough too. So that's why we're doing the carburetor anyways. Alright, so first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to rinse all the carburetor off. Get all the dirt off of it. Well, you know, not all of it, but anything that's loose. This helps you keep from getting it, you know, inside of the carburetor. This is brake cleaner. Use car cleaner or brake cleaner. Doesn't matter.
Now we're going to go ahead and I like to break the bolts, the bottom bolts free first with a pair of channel locks. So grab the outsides and I just give them a little turn. That way you don't strip the Phillips heads out. It really doesn't take much to break it free. Alright, got all of them. Now we can take them out. Pull this off. Might have to tap on it a little bit. That's not going to come out, I guess, until we pull this. So we're going to go ahead, some vice grips. Break these free. That's weird. It's usually not the way it is. You know what? I don't think that is the way it is. I think it's just a rubber gasket or something. Oh, look at all the water. See all that beads? That's water. That's why this thing ain't getting any fuel. Nope, it's gonna need to come free. Okay, let me get these broken free. I wonder if that was. Let's pull this out. This is all gelled up. This should move freely in and out. This is a fuel on-off valve. It just keeps it from backfiring, you know, when you shut it off. So that's basically the whole thing with this. In a you know, worst case scenario, dude, I'm downwind from you. Fuck. Freaking worst case scenario, you got to make the machine run. You can take this, cut it right off, and it'll run fine. It'll just backfire once in a while when you shut it off, if you have to, you know. So this thing still doesn't want to come out. That's craziness. Oh, it was frozen in there. Nice. I didn't think that thing had to come out to get that off. It's frozen in there. Rotten carburetor. Pull this pin out. This float out. Oh, the float's stuck. Oh, there we go. That's great. Stuck float. No, the needle valve is stuck. That should have slid right out. If you got a needle valve stuck, usually I like to take the clip off so that I don't knock it off and lose it. Take it off and put it on the table. Where'd it go? There it is. Somewhere where you won't lose it. Alright, and this, we're going to just go ahead and start rinsing. All the gel is from the water and the ethanol reacting together. Alright, so now we're going to need some needle nose. I think they're out on that roller. Hold on. Alright, and we're going to just grab a hold of this needle valve very gently and just try to twist it. There it goes, it twisted back and forth a few times, then pull it out. Boom. and we're good. We got to clean this off really good. I use my fingernails or a flathead screwdriver to scrape it up, especially the corners. Get it all scraped up real good. Then we're going to rinse it off. Make us a clean spot on the table to set all the clean parts. I take this and I rub it on my pants in a circular motion. I'm wearing Dickies, so it's that kind of material, but jean or anything like that. Shine that tip up a little bit. Boom, set it to the side. The bowl we're going to go through really well. Leave the seal in the bowl. If you don't, it'll swell up. I need a can of carb cleaner with a straw, please. So we're going to get on in deep here. Give it a good rinsing. Not really concerned so much with the outside of it as you are the inside. I like taking a little screwdriver that I grind down. It's still a flathead, it's just very pointy flathead. I get in there and I scrape around, knock any of the little bits loose. See, I got all kinds of crap on there that was in the bottom of this. Just kind of knock it loose. Then we're going to rinse it out again. That should be good with that. And this guy here, flathead screwdriver. Give me a flathead real quick. I'm going to pop this jet out. Oops. Oh, this thing's fucked. Hold on. You get a better screwdriver. So unfortunately, I'm not able to get that jet out. We usually like to take the jet out and the orifice tube. I can go ahead and take the orifice tube out, but I don't want to mess up this O-ring. So I'm just going to leave it all together. And I'm going to boil it out with acid. Hold on. So I use 14 karat gold testing solution. I've tried all the different types. The green top 14K is the only one that really works. I've tried making my own acids. I've messed up jets. I've messed up whole carburetors. This is the stuff that you want to use. I use it all the time. Put a couple of drops in the jet. Like 3 or 4 if you have to. Just let it sit there and simmer and boil, and you'll see smoke come off of it and whatnot. And we'll gently rinse it off. Stick our hose in there and that. Get it all drained out. And we'll do it a couple more times. Do that a couple times. 4 drops. And sit there. See it bubbling and boiling. That'll make it like brand new inside. Just be sure you don't get any, you wear safety glasses, you don't want any of the acid splashed in your eyes, you don't want the carb cleaner splashed in your eyes. And this is the last time boiling the jet. You get any of this stuff in your eyes, just rinse it with water. And you'll be fine. Irritation persists, see a doctor. Whatever. You don't know what to do. Do not panic. Just slowly make your way to the bathroom. drives are a lot stronger than you think. Then I'm going to put it up, this side up. I guess it sits like that. And we got another hole up here. I'm going to boil it out. That's like the air side of it, basically. Gonna let it boil out. We'll do up here too. And then we're going to go ahead and rinse everything. Oh, this area was really dirty. I'm going to clean it out really well. Make sure there's nothing in there. If you want, you can use a drop of acid, but you got to be quick with it. So it doesn't etch it out. Alright, it's off the float. It's good and clean. Pin. Alright. I'm going to take a clip, put it back on the needle valve. The needle valve came right out. Don't take the clip off, you're fine. I only take it off when it's stuck in there like that so I don't damage the clip. Got that on there. Rinse this off real good. We're going to make sure that this slides in and out freely and smoothly. Try to stick a little bit. Maybe I'll put a little oil in it. That's better. Alright, so we're going to put this on the float. Back down in. Put the pin through. This is just diesel fuel and about that much tranny fluid. So if you blow through this, nothing should get through until you open it. It should stay full, or it should stay closed, and no leaks. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and pop our carburetor section on. I'm going to go ahead and throw some oil in this thing. All that corroded aluminum, seal. Get this on. All the way down. I'm going to put 4 bolts back in. Tighten them down. And the fuel shut off. I'm going to oil it up some. Make sure it's working. Pop it in place. Screw it down. tighten down. And that's how you rebuild, well, clean the carburetor. Rebuilding it would be putting a new needle valve and gaskets in it. I'm going to go to the machine, put new fuel filter and new fuel lines in. Pretty sure you can figure that part out yourself. So we have the fuel line pulled off the carburetor. Pull it over here, and we're just going to drain it all out. We want to clean this tank out. It's got a bunch of water in it. I'm going to take an air chuck and blow all the tank out. It had water in it, so I got to make sure there's no water in the tank anymore. You can see where it's been splashing out. The water beads up, and that's all these beads, the beads up here. So as I'm blowing it out and splashing out, the water come out. You really got to clean the tank, even if you don't think you need to. Get it out and get it cleaned out. Try to get it all to come out the bottom. Gotta get this completely empty and dry. I might even have to take this out. What's happened is this sits on a trailer outside, and when it rains, this gas cap that's broken has become a funnel and just lets the water right in, funnels it right on in. I'm letting my air compressor build back up. I'm gonna go see if I can find a new gas cap for him. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and put this back on. I'm going to take and put the air filter cover back on this.
$700. We can shut down shop.
Alright, I'm going to put this back on, bolts through it. This is going to go around this way. We got the drain hose that got to plug into the bottom. You're going to want to get that in first. There it goes, slides right in, not even a big deal. We got the fuel line. Get that in next. Get my needle nose, where'd they go? Alright, got the fuel line on with the needle nose. Here, goes through this little clippy do, twist it back around. Alright. And then this hose will go right on here. Alright, so now I'm just going to take the next few minutes, tighten up these bolts. I've got them started, well at least one of them started. I'm going to sit here and tighten them up. You don't really want to watch that, but that's what's happening. Brand new fuel filter on. Let's put it over here. So we need to push that on. Our fuel line hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and put this guy in. We're just gonna kind of place to hook it on the clip. Right? Does hook on the clip, right? There it is. And then get the rod, put it, just slide it right in. Make sure the plastic clip goes under the rod as you slide it in. And then you can slide the clip right back up on the rod. Boom, that's all hooked up. Then we go to the choke arm on the other side. And remember, we have to have, this is going to be like this. So we got to get this in here first. That, and then this will slide right into this clip in the back, and then you just clip it right back onto the shaft. Oh, man, my fingers are stiff because it's cold. Alright, that's on there and in there. Alright, I'm gonna go get some gas. This is a good time to test it. I'm gonna go get some gas and dump it in it. We're having an issue with the fuel not pumping through the pump still. I got it forced all the way up into the filter by blowing air into the tank, but it is not coming through. Okay, so this is fuel in, fuel. Wait a minute. This vacuum, they got this hooked up backwards. This is hooked up wrong. Ah, look at this. Alright. This goes all the way up over here. Alright, you know what? Let me take this fuel pump off. I think they got this backwards. Something's wrong with this. Something's wrong. Hold on, let's see here. No telling what they've done here. This was hooked here. Let's see what happened. This should be the vacuum here. Let me get a piece of hose on with that. That's feeling like vacuum too. Hey Ronnie, go put air to the gas tank for me. Just a little bit of pressure, not too much. A little more. Alright, that's definitely going in there. A little more. Keep going. Yeah, fuel pump's done. Alright, fuel pump's done. We're going to take that off. So the people that were in it before had the hoses hooked up backwards. Once I got it turned around, I could tell. I got it. Don't worry about it, Ronnie. They had the lines hooked up backwards. There's pump's fine now. So the fuel line goes into the bottom one, and then the vacuum line goes into the top one. And then the fuel goes into that one. Alright. So we're going to go ahead then bolt this thing back down. And get everything kind of pushed into place. And before I bolt everything down, I'm just going to push this all in place and see if it tries to run. Oh, gotta plug the wire in for the fuel on and off. I wonder why that didn't start with no fuel. Alright, don't forget to plug that wire in down bottom. Bet this thing will fire right off now. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and hook up this fuel pump. I'm going to hold this bolt with a screwdriver and try to turn it little bits at a time. There, it started. It started. So that it doesn't fall down in the flywheel, so I don't have to take the whole thing apart. Get this tightened down in. Alright, got that all back in place and tight. I had to pull this line out, put this one under it because the grommet so it could sit into place. I'm keeping the filter out here because the cover will cover right about here. And I'm going to put this guy in place now. Oh, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Where's my Where's that yellow cover? I got these two screws. I think the yellow cover goes through. Alright, let me find that. Let's put this on. Alright, got that in. The two bolts with the shafts, these guys go in here and here. 8mm, tighten them down. And we got this here, goes up here, 10mm. So we slide that in place. Two 10mm. Get them in, tighten them down. And we're getting this tightened. 8mm. Tighten these front ones. We'll get these tightened down. It's just the air filter and cover after this. No big deal. If this helped you out in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I'll put a link to anything you might need, like the acid, I'll put in the description below. Anything you'll need to do this job, basically, whatever I can find. Put it in the description below. I'll see if I can find a new carburetor, new fuel pump, anything like that. Go that way, no, it goes another way. Yeah, if you want to do any advertising through my channel, message me. I'll be more than happy to have you. Peace.